So here we go, Wrekk TV. We're back at it again. We were doing these interviews before COVID, and I said, man, we got to get OG Big C in here before we get the ball rolling again. It's only befitting. He's got so much history lined up for us. So, man, how are you doing these days? I know your health has been challenging.
Yeah.
Good to see you doing well.
Yeah.
I think recently you were in the ER. You had a little stint.
Yeah. The health been challenging, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with this lupus and heart failure and all that type of stuff, man. But you know, I'm staying strong, man, and I'm just taking it as it come, man, and with putting it in Josh's hands, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started with the inspiration, right?
Okay.
So many people know you, so many features you've done.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like trench warfare, man. You're a veteran. You were there in the beginnings of so many groups that we all cherish and love, especially in the Hispanic and Black communities right here in Southeast Houston, right? So when did it start? When the bug bites you? Like, when did you first rap? Was it in school? Was it a contest? Or you hanging with your homies? When did it start?
Okay, it started at, I was 13, and R.I.P. my brother, L, man. And anyway, he was like, man, get in the competition, So he the one, convinced me to get in the competition. So I wrote the song or whatever, and I ended up winning, you know what I'm saying? And the song got to be, the news came out, and then we got to go to, back in the Gap, they had 90.9 KTSU Kids Jam. Yes. With Lester Serpace and Wicked Cricket and all them, you know what I'm saying?
Wicked Cricket, man.
R.I.P. Wicked Cricket, man. And, Lester Serpace and all them. So we got to go there and do the song live. And I had a little chick, she was beatboxing. She was beatboxing for me while I was rapping, you know what I'm saying? And then, ever since that, man, I just kept on writing, man, and then, but then I was also, caught up in the streets too at a young age, and at around 17, I caught a case, but when I got out, Troublemaker, Lord Loco, AK, and Short Dog, they had a rap group. And they already knew, that I get down on the rap, because we used to rap at the house parties, you know what I'm saying, freestyle and battle rap and all that stuff. So the day I got out of boot camp, I had went to boot camp. They had sent me to boot camp, and the day I got out of boot camp, man, I'm back in the neighborhood, and the boys was like, "What's up, man? We got this group, Miss Color Mafia," which I already knew, because I would call on the weekends. You was allowed to call the world, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would call, John and shit, and he was like, "Man, he would let me hear shit over the phone." And I was like, "Man, boy, y'all boys out there doing it," from the shit I was hearing, you know what I'm saying, over the phone. But never once wasn't any mention of me, being part of none of that, you know what I'm saying? But then when I got out, the same day I got out, I'm back hooked up with them, and they was like, "What's up, bro, man? We want to do like a NWA type of, we need a fourth member." And then, back then, groups had DJs, like Street Military had Icy Hyde and all that type of shit. So, and we had a DJ, and he was like, "Man, what's up, man? You want to get down with this Mixed Color Mafia shit?" And I was like, "Shit, hell yeah!" And Short Dog, DJ Short Dog, he was the one, doing all the. But back then, we didn't even have an EPS yet, you know what I'm saying? So he was just using the turntables and using break beats and shit like that. And making the beats like that, man. And we was rocking shows, man. We was rocking shows, and we ended up meeting Patrick Lewis from Jam Down.
Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm from the islands. Patrick from the islands. He from Trinidad, so he knew a lot of my people. And at that time, you know, if a lot of people don't know the history, you know, LD wasn't his first artist. He had a group called Triple Threat, and we was going around doing shows with Triple Threat, Anna Whack, LaPorte, all these different little spots like this here. And Patrick, man, we had a promo. You know, back then we used to, you know, the artists, we used to do those black and white promo covers.
Right.
And we had Patrick had shot the promo cover for us and everything. And on the promo cover it says he was managing us for booking information, everything. Contact Patrick Gerard, because you know Gerard was the other guy who worked with Patrick before Vince did. R.I.P. Vince. And yeah, man, and the only reason, you know, that never happened is because I got my ass incarcerated, and then another member, AK, he got incarcerated, and that left Loco and Troublemaker out here. So then they ended up hooking up with Grim, because we was already doing shows with these boys, so, and Loco and Grim in the back be battle rapping and shit. So we ended up, so when I got locked up, me and AK, Foletta wanted to form like a Mexican NWA, you know what I'm saying? But then they got Loco in the group, of course, you know, Loco's black, so, because at first there was aggravated Mexicans, but they had to take off the Mexican because of Loco, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, so then it's Loco, it's Troublemaker, and then it's Grim and Foletta, and then you had MAC, which was Prankster and Slinky, and those groups together formed Aggravated.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how Aggravated formed.
And if you don't mind, I want to stop here on Jam Down, because all these interviews, there seems to be a common thread.
Yeah.
So, from my understanding, this place, Jam Down, Patrick had going, because I hear had a stage, right? They would perform and practice.
Yeah.
This was kind of a mecca, if you will, at the time.
Yeah.
All this was popping off. Could you talk about that? All the artists that came through this place. And what era of time would you say? This is like 90.
Because I got out, I got out the pen in 95. So you talking like between 96 and 98.
With the culmination
98, 99.
Is it fair assessment that the culmination of all this, if you will, was Don't Mess with Texas, Kiki?
Yeah,
like
Kiki,
that was the first thing that really exploded out of that capsule, if you will, that environment.
Yeah, because like I said, you know, because like I said, you had Triple Threat first, then you had LD, and even the Most Hate when they went through the contract disputes with Foletto's uncle, because nobody expected the Aggravated to blow up the way it did. So nobody's paperwork was right. They didn't have the contracts. When he seen how it was blowing up, he put these bullshit contracts in front of him. Well, only 2 members, and they was all supposed to sit down and talk about it before anybody signed anything. Only two members ended up signing, you know what I'm saying? And we all, everybody cool to this day, but, you know, 2 members ended up signing. Foletta burnt the contract in his uncle's face, lit it on fire, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, they didn't have their own studio, so they was recording, they was paying Patrick Lewis to record at Jam Down, to record the Aggravated Accept album. So when Patrick got wind of what was going on with their contract shit, he was like, man, you know what? I'll sign y'all to my label. He said, but y'all can't keep the name Aggravated because your uncle owns that name. You know what I'm saying? And the second album, remember the first Aggravated album was called Accept. They had did that little EP or whatever, I Am Your Future. Right. And then the LP though was Accept. And then the next one was supposed to be called Aggravated, The Most Hated. So whenever they was told they couldn't keep that name Aggravated when they went to Jam Down, they was like, man, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just call ourselves The Most Hated.
Right.
And that's how that came about.
And on that album is the infamous song Warriors, which is a click song.
Yeah, I'm on that
You're
one.
batting second.
Yeah, I'm
right
second,
behind the infamous
SPM.
Arguably one of his best verses of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you backdoor. Talk about that. I mean, just that a verse. Your verse is also amazing to itself, but that verse of Los, I guess he was trying to make a point. I guess.
Yeah. You know, he was just. I'm not even
sure. My Corsica. Huh?
I'm not even sure if the Hillwood album had dropped yet. It might have dropped. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. But yeah, he came in there with something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm next up. I'm gonna be the Mexican that's.
So your verse was already written at this time, or did it make you change your verse? I have to ask these questions.
No. He didn't make me. You know, because I was always like, I never ever changed my verse after I heard somebody else's verse, because I always felt like I was good enough to compete and hang with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows. Well, anybody with some sense knows that K Reno is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Sir. And I know that I can't out-rap K Reno, but if you ask me, can I hang with K Reno on a song?
That's right.
I can hold my own with K Reno, and I've been on several songs with him where I held my own. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my verse was already wrote. You know what I'm saying? Los went in there. MC torturer, rhyme sorcerer, warrior. It's the coroner's formula. You know, he came in and he did his thing, man, and he was really had something to prove at that time. And then
were you a fan of the movie before that was produced, the Warriors movie? You were familiar with the whole?
I was familiar with the movie. I wasn't a fan of that movie. You know what I'm saying?
But to turn into a click song, it's some genius to that, right?
Yeah. I wasn't too familiar. You know, Filetto being a producer and all that. He knew more of things of that nature. Of the Warriors. I was a hood cat selling dope in the hood and shit like that. I didn't know nothing about Warriors. I never knew about that movie until that song. But previously, before Warriors, I was on the Aggravated album also.
On Accept?
I was on Strength in Numbers.
Okay, yes.
Yes, I was on Strength in Numbers.
Which had AC Chill, rest in peace, also.
Which had AC Chill, K Reno, and they had a group Section 8, IQ, and DBX.
Yes, Komodo.
Komodo.
Shout out DBX, yeah.
So that was actually the first one. That's when it was Aggravated. So I was on that. I was on the Aggravated album, and then I backdoored when they became the most hated, and I did Warriors. But the Aggravated was my first. I had just got out of prison, you know what I'm saying? And AK and all them, Loco and all them knew, he was part of Miss Color Mafia. Miss Color Mafia is one of the groups that formed Aggravated, you know what I'm saying? It's only right we get him on there, but it wasn't just them saying, bam, you on there. I had to get on that bitch and I had to wreck that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody had to decide, because they was cutting. If your shit wasn't hard, and you wasn't hard, and your verse wasn't tight, they was Xing motherfuckers left and right off of the click songs, off of songs.
Which begs the question: how'd you get number 2 spot? Was someone else come before you and they sucked? And you don't have to say their name, but
on the Warriors.
Yes.
It just happened that way. It wasn't nobody. It wasn't nobody that was like X'd out or anything like that. That's just how it happened. Los went in there first, and then when he came out, my shit was already, and I was like, hey, I'm ready. And they was all right, get in there.
And then the AKs immediately after your
yes, sir. Yeah, and AKs right back door me. Yeah. So my shit was already wrote. Had my pen and pad. So whenever Los came out the booth, everybody was like, boy, you did that. But I never felt intimidated. I never felt it was a competition thing. I'm just gonna go in here and hold my own and do me some wrecking. You know what I'm saying? and that's what I went in there and did, and I just held my own, and that's how that came about. Yeah.
If you don't mind, we back up a minute.
Okay.
What were some of your earlier influences as far as rappers, singers, like when you was really young?
Ghetto Boys.
Rap a Lot was a big influence.
Yeah. SPC. You know, I like Gangsta Nip. You know, Klondike Cat. The Lyrical Line album. You know, the Prone to Bad Dreams, Point Blank. You know what I'm saying? I liked a lot of the SPC shit, Street Military, Trinity Garden Cartel.
Yes, right.
Faculty. Matter of fact, I like Faculty so much, I got Cook from the Faculty on our new album, which we'll get into.
Billy Cook?
Nah, Cook. Cook
Okay.
from the group, The Faculty.
Gotcha. Okay, there's four of them. One of them's yes.
One of them's passed away. Yeah, one of them's passed away. The Faculty is Cook, Malik, Waterboy, and Lil V. And I think Waterboy's the one that's deceased now. But Cook is my boy. Like shit, I can call Cook right now. You know what I'm saying? Put him on speakerphone. But yeah, and so that's why we had to get Cook on the album. You know what I'm saying? But Street Military. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you know, back then, you know, before, you know, SPC and SUC and everything, of course, you know, we listening to a lot of West Coast, NWA, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Too Short, you know what I'm saying? And then of course we were listening to East Coast, LL Cool J, Special Ed, you know what I'm saying? All them guys, you know what I'm saying? Roxanne, Shantae, you know, I was listening to all that, you know what I'm saying? KRS-One, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have a lot of groups down here, you know, but the ones they did, you know, like OG Style, you know, R.I.P. Original E, you know, Jazzy Red, you know, I was listening to all these cats, you know what I'm saying? They was from the city, you know, and this was, like I said, before, you know, the freestyle, the SUC, before the great tapes and all that. So a lot of them guys, man, yeah, them was my influences in the rap game.
So as you was on the Most Hated albums, and you've been featured on a lot of other albums, Lone Star Riders, Wanted, Shut Them Down.
Both Lone Star Riders.
Right.
Yeah.
Shut Them Down when was a label with X-Ray, Filetto.
Yeah, I was signed with that label from 2000 to 2005.
Since you've got quite the catalog, right? A lot of selections, people can go listen to your music. By the way, if you don't know, now you know, he has his own YouTube channel. Y'all need to go check it out. Instagram.
Yeah.
How do they find you?
Yeah, on my YouTube it's Big C the OG Chronicles. On my Instagram it's Big C the OG 713. On my TikTok, the same thing, Big C the OG 713. On Facebook, it's Charles Big C Antoine. You know what I'm saying?
What a good segue. We're bringing up tech, because this is something I like to ask all the artists, especially on the K Reno interview I did before COVID.
Yeah.
If you haven't read his book, which is really good, by the way, and inspirational.
Yeah.
But he talks about the internet.
Yeah.
He was about to hang it up, right? We're talking about the hard media days.
Yeah.
CD, cassettes, right?
Yeah.
And he got a computer, got on the internet, and people tell him about message boards. You don't know what a message board. And come to find out, he got this whole cult following overseas, and this, if you will, breathes new life into him, right? You know, some argue, we've had it on the interview, did the internet save his career, right?
Yeah.
And I bring that up because, if you remember at that time, I was at the forefront of the cutting edge of the MP3 before anybody knew what MP3 was, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the four horsemen were riding on the music industry. A lot of people were against it and say it killed the industry and it changed it. And I want you, if you could, talk about that transition as something you embraced at first or not at first, or...
Well, this is what happened with me in 2005, man. You know, I kind of parted ways with Shut 'Em Down amicably. You know what I mean? And I was really doing the family thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was working. You know what I'm saying? I was working in the plants. You know, here and there. You know, more than just here and there. I would still do features for people. You know, people would hit me up. You know, hey, how much you charge me for a feature? You know, just like when I did with LV. You know, hey, how much you charge me for a feature? You know, different people would hit me up. So I wasn't really like deep into the transition of going from like the record stores to the digital, because at that time, like I said, I was kind of out the game. You know what I'm saying? I was out the game. I was just getting my money, doing my features, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I might get, yeah, you know, I got my publishing and all that, so I'll give me a little, you know, a little change here and a little change quarterly, you know, how it comes, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like the, if you ask me which one I like better, I like the CD days, because you can make, in my opinion, you can make more money. It's like with the streaming, it's like pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like pennies on the dollar, man. When we had the CDs, man, we could fucking, like, for example, me and Loco, D-Town sent me and Loco to fucking Arizona with 200 CDs. You know what I'm saying? We go out there, sell the motherfuckers the Filetto, bring it to the table. We sell them motherfuckers the Filetto on X-ray, bring it to the table. Right. We sell them motherfuckers for $20 a piece. That's $4,000 right there. You know what I'm saying? And on top of money he had put in our pockets to send us out there, and then to go promote, because Nut was already down there talking about how live it was down here. Then they had Dodo Records from Arizona. They had a label, and that's who we was down there fucking with. But with the streaming, man, it's like, you know, it's pennies on a dollar, man. I think to be considered a platinum artist, like in the CD days or the tapes or whatever you want to call it, it was 1 million records. Right. I think now, if I'm correct, you may know more better than I do.
Yeah, we looked up the other day. What is it?
I think it's what, 750 million.
Something like that.
750 million.
They moved the
over
goalpost.
1 billion streams to be considered a platinum.
Was it 15,000?
To the equivalence to a platinum artist.
I think it's different with the different platforms, right? Like Spotify. And what was the other one?
YouTube. I think it's like 1 million equals 1 million streams are equaling to 15,000 albums sold.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Because I think it was like, when I remember reading it was like 750 million streams to be considered a platinum artist. I mean, and how many artists you know that's streaming 750 million streams?
Right, and the flip side of that is the record store is gone, but theoretically it's in everybody's pocket, right? It's in humans now have more access to music than they have in history, right? Yeah. But still, the math don't add up, man. Yeah. People can't.
You can make some money, but like I said, think about it. I mean, name me an artist you know that's, we'll just say YouTube, for example. Right. That's got 750 million views.
Wow, that's rare.
I mean, I can't even think of one. I mean, I don't even think Jay-Z got on certain songs, when you pull up, maybe as a combination of all his music, but if you just pull up, say you pull up Hard Knock Life, if I go and I pull up Hard Knock Life right now, and he's probably gonna have, let me see, he probably gonna have, he ain't gonna even have 750 million. You got motherfuckers like Kevin Gates and all these motherfuckers, they doing like 10 and 20 million.
Right.
But that's far from 750 million. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's pros and it's cons, just like with anything else. You know what I'm saying? Just like with anything else. But yeah, me personally, I like the CD days. That's why, like, even to this day, when we did in 2019, when we did the Shut 'Em Down reunion album,
right,
we still press up CDs. Like a lot of people will be like, man, or I'll see people ask questions on Facebook, do you think I should press up CDs? And I always tell them, yeah, because you got people that are collectors, or you got people that still have CDs and players in their vehicles. You know what I'm saying? Or now they also have it where they're doing like the putting it on, villains doing that shit, putting them on these thumb drives.
Right.
I seen Lucky where you can get every song he's ever did or whatever on a thumb drive. You know what I'm saying? So they doing all that. But CDs to me gonna always be the
which brings in your new release.
Yes.
On the map.
Bottom of the map.
Bottom of the map, right? So
bottom of the map.
And this is
hey, I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm looking at this Jay-Z right here, and it's uploaded several different times, but I see one, and it says 1.9 million views.
Right.
Another one says 90,000 views. You know, because it's uploaded several times. 9.8 thousand, 22,000. I mean, that's like what, 2 million at that.
We're talking about Jay-Z.
Yeah, and of course I'm sure if I keep looking, I can find more of those Hard Knock Life again. That's 221,000. Okay, here it is, Hard Knock, 11 million. But you know, we're talking 750 million to be considered a platinum artist, right. which like you know, platinum artist was a million records sold out the stores.
Right.
But anyway, what were you just asking me?
Oh, we're getting into the bottom of the map, your new release, which is kind of, we're jumping forward here. I guess we'll jump around.
Yeah. That's how we freestyling.
Right.
Yeah.
But this bottom of the map is with Sin.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And this is 10 tracks, 9?
No, it's 12.
12, okay.
Yeah, I think it's 12, yeah.
And you've done a couple of videos already?
We done 4 videos. And
again, these are all on your channel, right, to check out. And this was released a couple weeks ago?
Nah, this was released like, this was released like 3 months ago. Yeah, because I already got a first little check. Tim had cash at me, the first little check. So yeah, it's been about 3 months ago. The way that album unfolded, because you know, after I had my wife had passed, you know, going through my grieving stage and everything, and Sin is my boy. We go back 25 years solid. So he would always, man, come to the studio, you know, come to the studio. And I'll be like, nah, bro, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And then we had previously, before she passed, we had recorded a song called "Forgive Me for My Sins." And then about a year after, he kept telling me, man, I want to do a video for this song. So about a year after she passed, I finally was like, you know what, fuck it, we'll go ahead and do the video.
On this new album, I think you've stated this is going to be your last?
Yeah.
Or is that not, how accurate is it?
Yeah, this is going to be my last album. As far as, you know, an album. I mean, I'm going to still be available to do features and all that. I'm going to always do features, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers hit me up, you know, they want to pay me for a feature. I'm going to always be down to do that. But as far as, you know, putting the album out, any kind of solo album or group album, you know, this was my last one. As of now, you know, things could change, you know what I'm saying? But as of now, this was my last one. You know, I just kind of wanted to, it wasn't even no plan to do this album, man. How this shit happened, man, was Sin had hit me up, man, and was like, man, I got this song called Pistol on My Lap, and he says, man, I'm gonna send you the track. He said, man, I already got the hook, my verse and everything, so all you would have to do is write your verse. He said, so I'm gonna send you this song called Pistol on My Lap and tell me if you're feeling it. So when he sent it to me, when he emailed it to me, I was feeling this. So I was like, all right, bet. I say it's 16, I think 16 bars, 12, maybe 16 bars. So I wrote to that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So we go to Tim's, the drop shop right over here. I don't know if you're familiar with Tim's. There's a white cat. He been in the game for like 30 years. It's called a drop shop. He's friends with DLP. Do you know DLP? DLP's
I have heard of him many times, but I've never met him, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know, they all came up together. So he's been in the game for a minute too, like us, and so I go in the vocal booth and I drop my verse, bam, and no, Sin's verse wasn't on there. Let me take it back. It was just the hook. So I drop my verse. Sin goes in the vocal booth, drops his verse, and when I'm sitting outside on a chair, he comes out the vocal booth and he looks at me and he was like, all right, bro, we got 11 more songs to do. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, we got 11 more songs to do? What you mean we got 11 more songs to do? He was like, for our album. And I was like, for our album? I was like, nah, bro. You didn't say nothing about no album. You know, I came here to do a feature, you know what I'm saying? And get what I get and move around, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, what's up, bro, man? Let's do an album, man. Because at that time, Sin was doing albums with different artists, like Bravo, Mr. Never Die, you know, group albums, two-man group albums. Because he was like, man, I'm trying to get money from here, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, you old school, day one, shut them down, day one. You know, you been in the game before me, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, man, so I want us to do this album. And we had did songs already and videos, and we would get nice feedback, you know, tens of thousands of views, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So I was like, man, let me think about it, bruh, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I thought about it and I was like, man, you know what, man? I say, man, I'll go ahead and do it, man. I say, man, but this gonna be a wrap for me as far as, you know what I'm saying, putting out albums, right, solo albums or any kind of group albums or anything like that. But I'm always, cause of, you know, yeah, it's for the money too, but it's mainly for the love of the game. Right. And I've been doing this since I had my first group, which was Miss Color Mafia in 1992. So, you know what I'm saying? Shit, that's what, 31 years or some shit like that. So, you know, so, you know. So
you mentioned before the interview, you know, gravity's been pulling hard, man. If you will, your wife passed. You said you had a house fire, which I myself, my family went through that. I imagine this is therapeutic to some extent. Like you said, Sin reached out and,
yeah,
as a friend, as your homie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a way to.
Yeah, that's
music is it heals, huh?
Yeah. That's one thing I can say about him, man. You know, because he was one of the main guys, man, who, you know, who you know, who like for a whole year, but for a whole year, I did not step foot in the studio after Michelle passed. I didn't step foot in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't feeling it.
Right.
You know, you going through your grief and process and all that. You know, I wasn't feeling it, man. I didn't do shit, man. I stayed there. Only thing I did was whatever I had to do to make my money, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be, you know, doing music or whatever the fuck, and other than that, man, I was at the house, man. I wasn't trying to do nothing but sing, man, for a whole year, man. Just stayed on me, stayed on me, stayed on me, stayed on me. And then we already had that song, Forgive Me for My Sins, and then he was like, man, let's shoot a video for it. So we finally ended up shooting a video for it, you know what I'm saying? And it got a nice little, you know, feedback. And then we turned around and did Bottom of the Map, the name of the album. It's a cat he's originally from Port Arthur, Rolling Green and them guys, they Paper Stack Records. They're originally from Port Arthur, but it's a guy, LB Paper Stack, he lives in Victoria. So me and Sin, we drove out to Victoria and we shot that video, Bottom of the Map. And then, so that's another video off the album. Then we have a song called It's Cold. Just talking about it's cold, basically. It's like it's a cold world, you know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. And Tex from Hustletown Network, Tex, and the guy we was using, we were using a guy from Port Arthur, a black guy named KJ the Great.
Right.
So we was using it. We used him and Tex shot that video together. You know what I'm saying? And then, so that's the third video off the album. And then these are singles that we dropping, and every single we not doing a video for, you know what I'm saying? And then Trap Vision, I don't know if you're familiar with Trap Vision, we had a song called Black Tea. And it was actually me, Sin, and a guy named Tank. But Tank was locked up, and Sin was like, man, I want to shoot a video. And I was like, man, you sure you want to, you know, shoot the video without Tank? You know what I'm saying? We can we have other songs, you know, just us, you know, and just, you know, wait till Tank get out, because, you know, he ain't going to be in there forever. He's out now, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, let's just do Black Tea, man, do something quick. So we did Black Tea, and so we got 4 videos off that 12-song album, and we gonna shoot one more, band. We got a song called Gangsta on, and we supposed to be shooting a video for that one pretty soon.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of videos, right, let's say we encapsulate this as the Wrekk family, huh? Because I consider you part of that, man. The video that we did with Lewis and Rick, and there was some great work with Eddie here, and Nutso was part of it. You still shoot videos and shit? I'd like to get back on it, but especially with the new camera. But Rick and Lewis, right, they go back, way back. My first flea market spot, they were some of the first artists. LV. Yes, okay, Rick. Yes, okay. And Lewis as well, who's now a teacher. He's working on his doctorate, I believe. Oh, yeah. We'll definitely get them in an interview, because they're part of the journey here, right? Yeah. Let's talk about that, especially you went on and did videos with LV, Rick. Yeah. Recently. I did who's still doing great music. Yeah, man, appreciate you. I did because me and you know, the last one we did was This Life, and that's the video you did. Yes. That's the video you did. Which was a compilation album, right? Yes. Right. Yes, okay. Revolution in the South. And I had 2 solos and a feature on that one. I had the South Seal for Lil, and I had a song that was a solo, and I had another solo called Doing Another Bid. That was about, you know, being locked up. These are songs I wrote while I was incarcerated. And then I had
This Life. This Life was actually one I wrote while I was out here. Matter of fact, we was at Eddie's, and LV had reached out to me through social media and was like, man, bro, I came up listening to y'all, Aggravated, Most Hated. I always liked you and AK style and everything. And he was like, man, you know, hey, how much you charge me? I'm working on this album, this compilation with some guys from Atlanta, Houston, all this, you know, how much you charge me? So, bam. So then he asked me, he said, hey, can you get me AK? And I was like, yeah, that ain't nothing but a phone call. So then I got AK, and the reason I picked that song, I say it to this day, is because of Rick. Because Rick's verse was already on there. His verse was on there, and Rick did the hook. We were going through songs, but when I heard that one, I was like, I looked at LV and all them, and Eddie and all them, I was like, man, that's the one. That's the one right there.
By the way, for people watching at home, we have Eddie L. Garcia here, who is infamous for his 8 bars on Block of Rock.
Yes, sir. Right? Yes, sir.
But Eddie's always been a part of the team, if not a very instrumental as far as ideas and shooting and editing. He edits as well. Eddie's also a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
But when did you meet Eddie and Jose, possibly? I don't know how that story came about. That was before Lewis and Rick?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. That was before Lewis and Rick. Yeah, I had been knowing Eddie and them since they did Block of Rock.
Right, right.
And then Jose, this Block.
Right.
Him and Loco, you know, they had a crib together in Pasadena, on Pasadena Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been knowing Rick and Block and all them. And then at one time, when we was 713 Stunners in '99, Block, Filetos, we had a house. Well, it was Fileto and Block, but it was our little studio upstairs. It was right there off of Broadway on Gulf Street.
I've heard about this place, and John Cena came through there.
On Gulf Street. Nah, I think John Cena came through Grimm spot. When Grimm lived over there off of Washington, whenever Grimm lived over there off of Washington, kind of like in downtown area. Yeah, because they about to release that, man. They still got that song, and they about to release that.
We still got our fingers crossed.
Yeah, with it's Rashid, John Cena, and Grimm. And Fileto did the track. Yeah, man. And man, they've had that song over 10 years, man. You know, since Grimm was staying out here. You know, he's in Dallas now. But since Grimm was staying out here, man, they've been having that song, man.
Right.
But yeah, that's not the house. As far as I remember, he didn't come to that house. I know he went to the house where Grimm and them stayed, over there off like Houston Memorial area, out that way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and Block, Jose, you know, we had him and Fileto and them had the house on Gulf Street, off of Broadway. So yeah, I've been knowing Eddie and Block since before this Life video that you shot.
Oh, right. There's a lot of history here, right?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Hopefully get all these people in the interview, Eddie, like to tie all these together, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I've been knowing Eddie and them before this Life. Yeah.
Again, to point out that era, the late 90s, there was just like an explosion in the Southeast, whether it's Jam Down or
Swab House,
King's Flea Market, right?
Yeah.
The Screw, he was right there in Greenstown. Then he opened up on Cullen, right?
Yeah.
All this was going on at one time, man. So many records and CDs. The CD market was at an all-time high. Record producers making. They were printing money, man. That's why it hurt so bad when the digital came. The digital did. Cause like I said, it ain't. I mean, you still can, because like I said, man, Rashid, you know, that's my boy. You know, stays on the road. Shout out to Rashid.
Yeah, shout out my nigga Rashid. He stays on the motherfucking road. Hustling CDs. I mean, he's still hustling CDs. You know what I'm saying? That man, that's his job. He ain't got no, you know, I'm not knocking nobody, you know, because you got to do what you got to do, but it's a lot of rappers that have second jobs, you know what I'm saying? Rapping is not their only source of income. Rashid is one of the ones that I know, that's it. That's all he does. Rashid ain't got no other job but rapping. You know what I'm saying?
He's our James Brown, I think. He's one of the hardest working men, and still doing.
And he ain't got no you know working at the chemical plant or lawn care or construction or anything. He's strictly music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he living off of it. You know what I'm saying? And he's still pushing them CDs. And then on top of that, you know, it's more other merch. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just CDs. Man, I'm talking about T-shirts, rolling trays that you roll weed on. Anything, man. Anything that's sellable. You know what I'm saying? That people will buy. Cups, like what Eddie got in his hand right there. You know what I'm saying? Anything. You know what I'm saying? And
we'll perform. We've talked about this, and we'll perform in front of, like, Sheedy's known for saying 7 crickets, right?
Yeah.
It don't matter. He's going to do the show, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen it performing, you know, house parties in front of, you know, 4 people and their mom and dad, you know, anywhere, man. He's just such an inspiration.
Yeah, and he's still, man, like I say, man, that's my boy, man. That's my boy, man. You know, we've been able to, you know, I've been able to have the pleasure over the years to, you know, work with him on a lot of different songs. Didn't get to get him on our album, you know what I'm saying? But we've been on 20 years, man, days back, you know, to being on songs, working together, you know what I'm saying, musically, you know what I'm saying? And then we boys too, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just about just straight music. Like, there's another motherfucker number in my phone, you know what I mean? I could call right now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I just want to say this on the Bottom of the Map album. I want to shout out like the features we got on there.
Yes.
We got the GOAT, K Reno.
Yes,
you
sir.
Know what I'm saying? We got the LB Paper Stack Cat from Port Arthur. We got Ronnie Spencer's daughter, Renetta Spencer. Renetta Spencer's on there. We got Cook from the Faculty. We got DJ Red.
He chopped the scooter version of it, or only a certain song?
He chopped the slow one for us. We got a Lil Spill from Second Generation, Screwed Up Click. We got Braid. There's a guy named Braid. He's from Pasadena.
From Hater Proof?
Nah, 225 Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty nice with it. And then Young Easy. Are you familiar with Young Easy?
Eazy's son? Or another Young Easy?
It's a guy from North Central Houston, Young Easy. And he's like tight like this with J-Dog.
Okay.
So basically he got the cosign. J-Dog gave him the cosign on the north side, and ESG gave him the cosign on the south side. So he's a young cat. He's probably about 26, but he grew up on our type of music. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't sound like how you know, not that I knock it, but it's just not my preference of music. But it's not like the Migos or that type of rap. You know what I'm saying? He's more like on the type of shit that we came up on. And I mean he has, you know, songs that have 1 million views. You know, he has a song called Shooter with a guy named Fifth Ward JP. Got about 1 million views on YouTube. He's done songs with Paul Wall. He's done songs with Slim Thug, Kiki. You know what I'm saying? Young Easy. Yeah, he's from North Central. And we got him on the album. So yeah, so Yeah, so it's another cat. He's done. He's from Spring Branch, OTM Silos. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's got a couple videos with Big Pokey. Matter of fact, he had just recently dropped a video with Pokey. Another one, maybe a week or two before Pokey died. Yeah, so
rest in peace, bro.
Yeah,
rest in power.
Yeah, man. Yeah, rest in peace, man. That was crazy, man. That was a blow to the age, man.
Which
right
brings
there.
this again full circle back to what we was talking about off the camera. And I was hoping to talk about this a little bit. I love talking about the sports, right?
Yeah.
You said you did play some in high school, and which Pokey did, and George Floyd. A lot of us have this common thread of sports, and I know you're rocking Astros, or you're always a Texan. So did you played football in high school, basketball?
Yeah, I played a little football. You know.
What side of the ball?
Huh?
What side of the ball? Defense, offense?
Nah, on the offense.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I played a little ball. You know, cause growing up, you know, in the hood, you know, shit, we played street ball.
Yes, sir.
We played in the street, you know what I'm saying? No pads, no helmets,
tackle on the concrete.
Tackle in the street. Tackle in the street. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I wanted to play Little League. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to play Little League because, you know, my mama couldn't afford. You know, my mom was a single parent, 4 kids, you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of things that, you know, we weren't able to do as kids. And I think that's a lot of that is what pushed me into the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing these other motherfuckers with Ataris and Commodore 64s and all that type of shit, and shit, I want that shit too, but I can't have it. I'm seeing motherfuckers going to school with Deodoras and Adidas and Capers and Troops and Jordans and all that type of shit, and shit, my mama said, we going to Payless for some shoes, you know what I'm saying? So once I hit my teenage years, man, you know, I had a big homie who was older than me. He just got out the feds, matter of fact. And he was fucking around with Quanell X's brother, Toast. Because Toast, you know, back then, you know, Toast was big time dope dealer. That's Quanell X's brother. This was before Quanell X became a civil rights activist and everything, you know what I'm saying? And his brother's name was Toast, and that house, that it was a quadruple homicide. It went cold for like 18 years, and that house, I had been at that house with my homeboy Junior, you know what I'm saying, to pick up work and all that shit. And yeah, man, they and the way they caught the guys is crazy, man. It came out on the news. They were all incarcerated. It was 3 of them on different charges, and one of the guys, I guess, got God in his life or whatever, and felt guilty about what he did. Okay, you feel guilty about what you did, but don't put my name up in the shit with you. You know what I'm saying? And he wrote a letter to the DA. And
this ain't a package deal,
and gave up everybody who was himself and everybody who was involved. And at that time, the reason I know is because I was doing some time in the county jail, and it came out on the news. And you got Quanell, his brothers, all their names starts with Q. I don't remember if it's a Quentin. I don't remember. Quentin might have been Toast though, but anyway, it was Quanell, his other brother, and the mama. And they're all on the news, and finally they got the motherfuckers who did it. But yeah, man. But
well, I guess we're gonna about wrap this up, man. We gotta get out of here. But again, how they contact you, or you got your Facebook, you got your Instagram, you're on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
You're on TikTok. I don't know, all these newer platforms.
Yeah, if you want to holler at me on a feature, I'm reasonable. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I got a 30-year career in it, over 30. I'm reasonable. You can reach me on Big C the OG 713. That's on Instagram. Big C the OG 713. That's on TikTok. Facebook is Charles Big C Antoine. You know what I'm saying? My email is Big C the OG 713. So everything is Big C the OG 713 except for my Facebook. That's Charles Big C Antoine, man. So yeah, so if y'all want to get with me, man, on a feature for your album or whatever, holla at me, man.
Well, hopefully this is not the only time. I can tell you what me and Eddie are kind of visioning. First, we found this new place. Shout out to the band barracks, by the way. This place has been, man, really a heaven sent, man. We were trying to do this at Eddie's house, but my kids now, I have no shame in plugging them. They've got a band going, but it's kind of giving me a vision, right? Maybe next time we bring you in, we can do a live set with a live band, some of your greatest hits, right? That's kind of like I'm seeing on the horizon. And what better way to platform these great artists? Southeast Houston alone is so rich with so much talent that people have no idea, or maybe like they've heard your verse, but they never tied the face.
Because you got to think about it, like in the Southeast, and as far as Mexican rappers, that's where it started in the Southeast, because Grimm was the first one, and then as far as like black rappers, it was the South Side for the longest. Once Swishahouse came in the mix, they took it to another level, and they started getting platinum plaques out of it, you know what I'm saying?
Which some of us feel we got left behind, you know. Once Screw died, he got kind of pushed in the north side. Come to the forefront.
They got platinum plaques, but everything was going down on the south side. And like I said, if you want to talk about, you know, Mexican rap, it starts in the Southeast.
That's it, man.
Grimm was the first one.
SPC, the whole nine.
SPC, SUC, all that,
That's it.
All that is on the south side, and you know, and Grimm is the first.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know. My first ties to SPC is Filetto and Lord Loco, man. And again, in the late 90s.
You know, a lot of people think, you know, SPM just took it to another level. You know what I'm saying?
But the foundation was SPC. I mean,
was Grimm.
Latin
as far as with the Latin rap, the Latin rap, the foundation is Grimm. You know, and SPM Los, he just took it to another level. You know, he got that big deal with Universal. He just took it to another level, and then you know, he got jammed up with his case and fucked everything up, but. The one who laid the foundation, and like I said, it was other people other Mexicans rapping, because in my group it was 3 blacks, and we had a Mexican troublemaker, and our DJ was a Mexican guy, but the only thing we had did was a demo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we was selling them in the hood and giving them away. We didn't put them in the stores. Grimm was the first one who did that. But yeah.
Well, it is an honor. It's a privilege to have you on the show.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully this ain't the first time we'll get you back.
You know, me and you, man, go back. 'Cause I met you first time in 2012, man, when you shot our This Life video, man.
And to this day, like I said, some of the best cinematography, right? Some of those shots of y'all in that corridor, right? The black and white against the color. It's really good. I love it. I'm proud of that.
Did a good job, man. And we had a good little storyline with that one and everything.
Good message.
Man.
Great song, man. But it's great having you on, man.
All right.
I guess till next time, man.
All right.
Thanks again.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Big C. Y'all stay up, man.